TikTok. I remember when TikTok first came on and everybody was doing all of them dances. TikTok wasn't even supposed to be for y'all. I'm going to read the super chat shortly. TikTok wasn't even supposed to be for y'all. I remember a long, long time ago before the pandemic hit. And I started seeing Keith Lee doing those booty popping dances. I said, who is this? Next thing you know, he big on TikTok and he doing food reviews. Shout out to Keith Lee. Your past ain't necessarily your future. And when we was on TikTok and my daughter first downloaded TikTok and they was doing all of these dances and stuff like that and all that. And then I seen a bunch of people doing Fortnite dances. You know, the same dances that every little kid do when the camera come on them on the big cam when they at the basketball game and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember. TikTok wasn't even for y'all dusty old people. But y'all, like everything else, y'all took over. Next thing you know, we see women telling 50-part stories and 50-part series, and y'all influencers now, and y'all influencers. Well, guess what? Yeah, the Senate, Congress, Biden, all of them, they said, listen, we don't agree on much. We don't agree on borders. We don't agree on inflation. We don't agree on jobs, and we certainly don't agree on safety. But the one thing we agree on, and two things is for certain, is that we agree that TikTok needs to be banned. I know y'all didn't think it was going to happen. You got a limited amount of time to make sure that you're platform agnostic. What does platform agnostic mean? It means that you're not interdependent on one platform in order for you to be able to do what you do as a content creator or a social butterfly. Now, Q. I love TikTok too, Island Girl Q. Let me get her name correct. Island Gal Q. I like TikTok too, for Rita. I'm never on TikTok. Only reason I got TikTok is because they said that I had to be on TikTok. But I like it for Rita because it's a nicer place. See, Instagram is now like a dating app. TikTok is a place where she can go and look at the little stupid videos and her makeup tutorials. She can have fun. She ain't got to worry about nobody bothering her for the most part. And she can keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? The rest of these applications, y'all be trying to get on top of each other. But check it out.
The clock is ticking for TikTok. This evening at the Capitol, the Senate passed a bill that could lead to a nationwide ban on the popular app. It's now in the hands of President Biden. And late tonight, he said he plans to sign it. So what happens next? And when could your TikTok account go dark? NBC's Jocelyn Morano's with us with this late developing news. Jocelyn.
Yeah, Raj, a lot to talk about here. Congress is essentially giving TikTok's parent company two options: sell the platform to an approved buyer or see it banned in the U.S. We talked with a professor tonight who says there are legitimate concerns with the app, but we also talked with content creators who say the app has made a positive impact in their lives.
Tonight, the future of TikTok in the U.S. is uncertain. The U.S. Senate passed legislation that would force TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance to sell the social media platform to an approved buyer or face a ban in the U.S. It was part of a $95 billion foreign aid package that will deliver funding to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. It now goes to President Joe Biden's desk. He released a statement tonight announcing that he plans on signing the bill into law. ByteDance would have 9 months to sell, but the president could choose to extend that by another few months.
Or they can go through the other route, which is suing the government. And that can drag the case for years.
Professor Ahmed Banafas says there are legitimate concerns with TikTok, such as information they're collecting like your age, location, and contact list.
And all of this will create some kind of understanding of what's going on in the American society.
And while other apps on your phone can also collect information, Banafas says the difference is who has access to the data.
The fears are coming from the fact that the misinformation and the interference that we could see with the election by posting a deep fake video through TikTok, and it can spread like fire.
But some here in the Bay Area have seen the positive impacts of TikTok. Maida started posting videos of her now husband Aaron interacting with her parents in Spanish a few years ago. These moments captured by a camera and then shared with others.
I think people really gravitated towards like somebody who's not of Hispanic descent, kind of like immersing themselves in the culture.
They now have 1.4 million followers on TikTok. It's helped Aaron grow his business, and it helped them during a difficult time when Mayra's father unexpectedly passed away.
Cuando mi papá falleció, pudimos abrir un
Wait a minute. Let me put some stop up in that. You telling me that he is talking to her and she don't know no hablo inglés? First of all, over here at the Millionaire Morning Show, one thing is for sure and two things is for certain. This is a Americano show. Maybe I need to change that. You know what? I got some ideas. We're going to get into that in a minute. But we do hablo inglés over here. We don't do none of that scribble scrabble talk. All right? Y'all going to have to put some subtitles. We're going to have to put some up on the screen because we don't like it unless they saying hola papi or something like that. All of that other scribble scrabble y'all keep talking, I don't like it. I feel like y'all talking behind my back. All right?
Their followers helped pay for funeral expenses. Now, like many TikTok users, they're paying attention to the future of the app.
I'm biased, but I think that it's, I think it goes against our
They don't even know what he's saying right now.
basic human rights of like freedom of speech.
All right, so President Biden is expected to sign this package as soon as tomorrow. Now we wait to see what TikTok's parent company's next move will be.
So it's a strong possibility. Let me spin over here real quick. It's a strong possibility that this can go into effect today. Now, what that means is that it's not going to be removed from your devices immediately. Okay? Let me bring it back. So the problem isn't TikTok itself. It's not whether you like it or not. It's not whether or not you like these women that's on there talking all this nonsense, makeup tutorials or whatever. That's not the problem. What they're saying is that because it's owned by a Chinese company based outside of the United States of America, it's no way that they can actually tell whether or not this information and all of your data is being sourced and then used overseas in a negative way. They don't want information from users over here in the United States of America because it's a huge platform to then be used negatively to be influencing a lot of the things that happen over here in the United States of America without them having security protocols to tell what's going on. And so what the federal government did as far as passing this bill, it is a part of the foreign aid package. And we're going to get into the foreign aid package in a second. But what they're saying is that this is a security issue. They don't care about how many dances that you're doing. They're worried about your data and your information being sourced and used over in China for negative purposes, okay? So what they said was, we're going to sign this into law. The Senate, House Majority Leaders, all of them, they came up with a package. They made it a part of this foreign aid bill. Now, I'm going to get into the foreign aid bill in a second. The foreign aid bill, I'm going to save that part for the next segment of the show. My point is, when he signs this into law, because this is something that Biden agrees with, they all got a bipartisan agreement on this. When he signs this into law, what this is going to say is you got 9 months to find a buyer here in the United States of America, or we going to remove it off of the social media platforms. Now, what does that mean for users? That means that you don't need to be waiting for them to sign this into law. Doesn't mean that TikTok is not necessarily going away. Don't mean that they're not going to find a buyer. But I'm not putting all of my eggs into one basket. That's what it means. For you in particular. Now, we can understand what it means on the grand scheme of things. But for all of y'all that consider yourselves content creators on TikTok, you need to become platform agnostic. This is something that Kevin Samuels was adamant about. Absolutely adamant about. And of course, I think that they'll find a buyer because it's too lucrative. But here's the problem, Eric Daniels. Do they really want to find a buyer? Does ByteDance really want to sell? And are they willing to sell to an American company, considering that it is a Chinese-owned company?
Here's a live look At the White House, where President Biden plans to sign a foreign aid package into law. The Senate passed it yesterday after weeks of negotiations. So it provides $26 billion to Israel, $60 billion for Ukraine, and $8 billion for Taiwan.
We're going to get into that in a minute. Ignore this part of the segment, and let's just focus on TikTok, because I'm going to break all of this down for you in a second.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer touted the work that went into passing it yesterday.
In a resounding bipartisan vote, the relentless work of 6 long months has paid off. Congress is sending the supplemental to President Biden's desk. Getting this done was one of the greatest achievements the Senate has faced in years, perhaps decades. A lot of people inside and outside the Congress wanted this package to fail. But today, those in Congress who stand on the side of democracy are winning the day.
But the package also includes...
Noble Hotep says, where is our vote on this aid package, Anton? You already voted for it. You already voted for it. I'll get into that in a minute. Don't worry about it.
Includes a provision that could lead to the ban on the social media app TikTok. That is, if its China-based parent company does not divest. So Scott McFarlane is on Capitol Hill with more on this. Good morning, Scott. Influencers are not too happy.
Yeah, Marie, good morning. TikTok is on the clock, so to speak. They have a year to be sold by their China-based owner, or they'll face this possible ban. That would shut out 170 million American users, including small businesses. And in a Congress that agrees on seemingly nothing, this won overwhelming bipartisan support amid concerns China could use TikTok to exploit and access the private data of American users. There was an equation made by one Republican congressman, TikTok and a spy balloon in your phone. Another powerful U.S. senator said this is a possible tool of propaganda as America enters an election season. TikTok has indicated it's going to challenge this in the court, file a lawsuit, and they've been arguing this infringes on First Amendment rights. But this is going to be signed into law, likely today, by President Biden, Amber.
So this is here. D-Day is here for TikTok, okay? I don't want y'all to be confused. I don't want you to act like you didn't know. I don't want you to act like you surprised. I know that y'all think that Congress don't get anything done, that President Biden ain't gonna sign nothing. This is happening, okay? Best case scenario, they sign it over and they sell it to somebody over here in the United States of America within 9 months. Worst case scenario, they don't sell because they don't want to give over control of it. And they decide that they want to keep it here and, keep it over there in China, and it gets banned. But the fact of the matter is, from a content creator's perspective, I feel your pain. I absolutely, positively feel your pain. But I want y'all to understand that you have a friend in me, but do not, in any way, shape, or form, think that it's just going to be straight like that, and that's the end of the conversation. They don't care. They don't even understand technology to the point to where they actually care about allowing for it to potentially get in the hands of the Chinese as far as all of your data, and that they just gonna keep it in a form of free speech. It doesn't. Make sure that you put yourself in a position to where you don't suffer. You got 9 months. 9 months to make sure that you put yourself in a good position instead of depending solely on TikTok in order for you to be able to survive. This is happening. Biden is signing it. They already passed the bill. It's going to happen. He's going to sign it. 9 months from now, we're going to revisit this. So early 2025 might be D-Day. Who knows? We're going to see. We're going to see. All right.